What's up, everybody? Snitch Ridiculous back with another video, and in this one I've got some advanced shipment cheeses that you can take advantage of. Two distinct cheeses in particular that both involve shipments, and they're both done pretty much the same way. That I'm going to show you in this video. Now, before we do, be sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Those are free ways to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Now, I'm going into this video with the assumption that you've watched my previous video on how to get the Hawkeye MCU skin from Shipment completely free, because this does borrow some of those techniques. I'll link that video in the description. Go watch that one first if you have not already seen it. However, assuming you already have, this is just something to kind of add on top of it. It's not specific to the Hawkeye skin, but it just has to do with shipments in general. Now, I apologize. I would have actually included this in the previous video, but I actually just discovered it pretty much after I put out and recorded that video. So apologies for the duplicate video, but either way, so it's really two things. One is very straightforward. So again, the assumption being that you're uploading your save file, and then you're buying things on the shipments, and then once you get something you want, you're actually going back, right? It follows that same kind of pattern of re-downloading your old saves before you've ever spent the credits, but it's more useful than actually just getting the specialty item for a couple of reasons. The first one is actually very straightforward. Whenever you're buying these shipments, there's always a very small chance that a consumable will be on there, okay? Now, why that's good is because when you buy a bunch of shipments and then you go and, download your save file as if you never bought them, you don't keep any of the emblems, the skins, the takedowns, the fragments, all the resources. Everything you got from those shipments goes away, except for the consumables. You actually keep the consumables. So what you can do if you really want to get some consumables, basically unlimited consumables, you can actually just keep buying, right? You can just keep buying shipments until you actually see a consumable here. Now, it might take a few, obviously. I'm not going to just keep going, but every once in a while you'll see a consumable there. When you do it, it actually ties to your account. It has nothing to do with your local save file. So even if you go, you can spend 500,000, it doesn't matter. You can spend as many as you want buying shipments, right? And then however many consumables you got in there, when you go and re-download and refund all those shipments back, you'll still keep the consumables. You won't keep the nameplates, you won't keep the fragments, you won't keep the modules, but you will keep the consumables. So you can just spend 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, however many you want, and get however many consumables you end up getting, refund them and do it again, and just keep doing that until you just have a massive page of consumables that you can basically just keep your consumables up at all times. All right. So that's cheese number one. And it really doesn't matter how many units you have going into this. Even if you have a small amount of units, you can just do it in smaller doses. You can buy 10,000 or 50,000 units worth of shipments at a time, and then do the reset then, versus buying 500,000 worth. It's just a matter of how often you'll have to do the reset. But every time you do the reset, you do get all of your units back. All right, so that's cheese number one. The other thing is being able to selectively pick what is in your shipment. Okay, so basically same idea. What you want to do is just keep buying. You can do this on top of the the consumables farm. You basically just keep buying shipments until you see the next shipment is going to be something you want. Okay, so you'll see here, obviously there's a lot of legendary outfits, and they are pretty rare, right? So there's legendary outfits, there's a lot of epics, there's even different takedowns and stuff, or just anything you might want, anything that you're willing to spend 500 credits on, or units I should say. Basically keep going until you see that, right? When you see that that's going to be the next one, all you have to do is back out of the game, download your old save file, get all those units back, but then when you come back in, it'll still be on that as your next your next shipment, right? So you'll come back in, you'll be refunded on units. Again, you won't keep anything that you got while you were looking for it, but it'll essentially be the next thing you buy. So then what you do is you'll actually want to buy that particular shipment, okay, that has the item that you want, and then quit out of the game again and then upload, all right? Now you have to upload. That's the only way that you're going to save and make sure that you've kept that piece, all right? So then you upload from there, and then you just go ahead and proceed doing the exact same thing, right? Going through and making sure, that you get a good one that you want, and then go and re-download, and it'll basically download to the point right after you got the other, let's say it's a legendary skin or something, it'll be for right after you got that. So essentially what I'm describing here is you're basically just filtering through shipments until you get an item that you want, and then you're spending 500 on that item. So you'll essentially only, it's a way to kind of trick the system into letting you only buy items that you want from the shipments, rather than having to weed through all of the nameplates and all the nonsense before you randomly get a legendary or something else you might like. You can essentially bypass all of that, keep refunding your credits until you see a legendary you like, buy that for credits, or units I should say, and then keep going until you see another one that you like. All right. So a way to completely bypass, and doing that, you can essentially get every single thing on this list. It might take you a while and a number of resets to do, but with RNG, I mean, you'll eventually get everything on this list at the cost of 500 a pop. You won't have to, spend a bunch of units on junk. It'll just be 500 for each of these different costumes, and that will be that. So anyway, that's it. Like I said, I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, consider joining the Discord down below for LFG and other Avengers information. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.